What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bigboysnacksjonnytv, and tonight I'll go my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please full watch the video towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel because I'm 2 away from 6K subscribers. Help me with that 3K watch out so I can become a YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights. It is up on the channel. Now let's get started. Now AEW Dynamite, it was a decent show, and that's all I gotta say, and that's just my opinion. It says AEW was live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It says it's Wednesday, my dudes. You know what that means. We kick off with a recap of MJF's attack on Daniel Garcia, followed by his promo on Collision, with the former world champion calling out the fans for discarding him for men like Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. MJF promised to take away everything until he's on top, and the fans can thank him later. Okay, we go to ringside where Will Ospreay makes his way out to a big pop from the crowd as the AEW International Champion steps into the ring to kick things off tonight. This was a very good segment by Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay thanks the crowd before addressing what happened last week on AEW Dynamite, saying he was upheld but not surprised. He had heard rumors about MJF, that he was one of the most insecure men in all of pro wrestling. MJF proves these to be true with his attack on Daniel Garcia last week. Daniel Garcia is still at home now with no feeling in his arm and no idea when or if he is coming back to pro wrestling. And MJF wants to blame the people. Will Ospreay talks about MJF not having things having things go his way, including the hidden Forbidden War of 2024, because Tony Khan would rather spend money on someone who will elevate AEW. He talks about having more talent and in certain part of his body that MJF does in his entire body, before saying MJF is jealous because Will Ospreay works hard for AEW, whereas the former world champion only cares about himself. Will Ospreay claims that since joining AEW, he had to clean up after someone else's mess, and he's finally found who has had to clean up after. He follows up saying the level of the devil is the ground floor, and he is top level. Will Ospreay says he's not in England driving. He's in Calgary looking for a fight. So come on out if you want one. MJF music hits, but MJF appears on the screen holding a glass of wine instead. MJF says no one deserves to be graced with his presence before talking about the man he's beating in AEW. He calls Will Ospreay the flavor of the month, the month, whereas MJF is flavor of the millennium, claiming the fans will toss Will aside like they tried to do to him. MJF says he's not a paraplaceable, unlike Will Ospreay, who will be replaced by the next flippy guy they call the best in the world. MJF asks if Will Ospreay wants to fight him tonight, but says he doesn't do it for free. He then lays out a challenge for next week: MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Champion. A challenge the champion accepts. This is a really good segment to kick off AEW Dynamite tonight. That was a good segment by Will Ospreay. All right, really good promo from Will Ospreay to kick off the show tonight, with a strong response from MJF ahead of a big international championship bout next week. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. All right, let's move on. Video package: a look at Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page respective path to the Owen Hart Cup finals tonight. Back back at ringside, Bryan Danielson makes his way out for our opening contest, as Jeff Jarrett stands beside the trophy and belt for the winner of this tournament. Out next, Hangman Page, who stares Jeff Jarrett down before heading to the ring himself. We get reintroductions from Jeff Jarrett as the special enforcer and both participants before this match gets underway. So we get the men's on Hart Foundation tournament finals. Brian Danielson versus Adam Page, special enforcer Jeff Jarrett. This was a good match. All right. Page, Page kicks things off by shoving Brian Danielson towards the ropes, with the American Dragon to his feet, getting back to his feet for a lockup, only to be sent back down to the canvas by Hangman Page. Once more, Brian Danielson backs to his feet for a lockup, sending Hangman Page to the corner before being forced to break, and Page charges at him for some hard stumps. Brian Danielson once again back up, only to take a hard chop, sending him towards the corner. Brian Danielson escapes the corner, clutching Hangman with a single leg crab before Page grabs the bottom rope. Both men back to their feet as Page gets sent to the outside before Brian takes him down with a dive to the floor. Page ends up back in the ring as Brian Danielson climbs up top for a missile dropkick, sending Hangman Page to the corner. But a running boot gets cut off by Hangman Page, who takes him to the apron before slamming him into the turnbuckle. Brian Danielson crashes to the floor as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Hangman Page takes a short breather before following Brian Danielson outside, sending him into the steel steps before slamming his head against the steps for added damage. Brian Danielson is busted open, favoring his neck as Page brings him back to his feet and into the ring. The referee checks on Brian Danielson as Hangman Page stares him down, with Brian Danielson getting his feet only to be sent to the corner for some multi punches by Hangman Page, who flips the crowd off as he backs away, with the referee checking on Brian Danielson once more as we come back from the break. All right, we're back from the break. Hangman Page goes back to work with some stomps on the American Dragon as Jeff Jarrett looks on from ringside. Both men in the ring are standing against trading strikes until Page locks in a sleeper before swinging Brian Danielson around and dropping him to the mat. Brian Danielson heads to the corner where Hangman Page continues to lay in some chops to wear him down. He follows up with some punches to the head, but Brian Danielson starts firing back with some chops as he escapes the corner. A series of uppercuts gets stopped by Adam Page, but Brian Danielson catches him with a cross arm breaker that he transitions into a LeBell lock on Hangman Page. But Page gets his foot on the rope to force a break. Brian Danielson lays in some kicks until Hangman Page catches him, lifting the American Dragon onto his shoulders before dropping him to the mat with a back suplex. Hangman Page heads to the turnbuckle, but is quickly swept out by Brian Danielson, who catch him with a spider German suplex to send Hangman Page crashing to the canvas. Brian Danielson is up top now as he looks for a flying headbutt, but Page evades it, setting Brian Danielson up for a crossface of his own. Brian Danielson get his foot on the ropes to force a break, with Hangman Page holding on as long as he can as we go to picture in picture again. We're back from picture in picture. Hangman Page sets up Brian Danielson for a powerbomb, but the American Dragon starts fighting back with some strikes to get back into the match. Both men are on their feet once more, trading strikes until Page gets sent to the corner for a chop. Brian Danielson sets Hangman up on the turnbuckle as we come back from break, and Brian Danielson lays a series of elbows on Page, who fights back before pulling a turnbuckle cover off to slam Brian Danielson's head and send him to the mat. Hangman Page goes for a moonsault that Brian Danielson counters out of, only for Hangman to connect with a tombstone piledriver for a nail fall. Brian Danielson rolls out of the ring as Page climbs up top, only to be sent to the floor by Brian Danielson, who follows up with a springboard senton. Both men crash to the floor as Brian Danielson starts favoring his neck, only to shove the medic away before laying in a series of kicks on Hangman Page. who catches the American Dragon with a pile driver onto the floor. The medic and Jeff Jarrett check on Brian Danielson as Page rolls into the ring, only to slide out to go after Brian Danielson once again. Jeff Jarrett tries to keep him away from Brian Danielson, which caused Hangman to pop face Jeff Jarrett before going back into the ring. Jeff Jarrett is frustrated, but has a cool head about it as the referee counts, reaching reaching about 8 or 9 when Brian Danielson managed to get back into the ring, only to be cut off by a line of offense from Hangman Page. Hangman lays in some heavy strikes before pulling away at the protective tape on Brian Danielson's back, but the American Dragon evades him long enough for a bazooka knee. Both men are down, and Brian Danielson is struggling to capitalize. Still hurt from the earlier damage, both men fight to their feet, trading headbutts along the way, and Brian Danielson hits a kick to get back into things, accepting a back suplex before charging for another bazooka knee that hits the referee instead. Heyman Page sees his opening as he takes his belt off, giving Brian Danielson a whipping with it until Jeff Jarrett goes in the ring to intervene. Heyman Page argues with Jeff Jarrett before shoving him to the mat. Jeff Jarrett gets to his feet, revealing as referee jersey underneath his shirt as Brian Danielson rolls up Adam Page for a near fall. Brian Danielson goes for the bell lock, but Page counters but out for a near fall of his own, followed by a buckshot lariat. Hangman Page sets up for another lariat, but Brian Danielson catches him with a roll up for a near fall before Page transitions into another crossface. Brian Danielson tries to roll out, but Hangman Page catches him in the middle of the ring. Once again, Brian Danielson is fading fast and appears to be out as Jeff Jarrett checks his arm. Brian Danielson keeps his arm up as he tries to counter out, eventually trapping Hangman's shoulders to the mat for the pin and the win. The winner by pinfall in the 2024 Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament winner Brian Danielson. This was a good match, but I did not expect Brian Danielson to win. But Brian Danielson deserved this match. But this was a good match between Brian Danielson and Hangman Page. All right, let's move on. Pace is beside himself as he confronts Jeff Jarrett about the finish, eventually leaving the ring. As Martha Hart joins Jeff Jarrett entering the ring to present the trophy and title Brian Danielson, the tournament win also means Brian Danielson gets a shot at the AEW World Championship at AEW All In Wembley Stadium, which brings the champ himself out as Swerve Strickland comes to the ramp to get a good look at a smiling, bloody Brian Danielson. Oh, that's when the slap. That match when the slap between Brian Danielson versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Champion at AEW All In. Take my money to see that. That match has been the slap and cook at the same time. What a match between Heyman Page and Brian Danielson. A pair had some great matches a couple years back, and it was a lot of fun seeing them run it back at each different stage of their AEW run. A win for Brian Danielson means he get his last shot at the world title in Wembley and hashtag AEW Dynamite. This was a very good match between Heyman, Adam Page, and Brian Danielson. I love that match. So we go to commercial break. Back at ringside, Swerve Strickland is inside the ring to address what happened last week before congratulating Brian Danielson on winning the Owen Hart Foundation tournament to earn his shot at All In. He then talks about Brian Danielson being on a down, downside while Swerve Strickland is still on top before turning his attention to the EVPs trying to offer him Reeboks and a spot on their team for blood and guts. Swerve Strickland then says he accepts a spot in the match for Team AEW. He promised to make good on the second of two things Brian Danielson could not do this year. After beating Will Ospreay, he will go on to beat the Elite. Swerve Strickland follows up with a challenge to Okada, where the world champion will show him how to really make it rain and wrap things up by saying he'll see Brian Danielson at AEW All In, where he where it will truly be Bryan Danielson's final countdown. Whose house? The crowd responds Swerve's house as the champ drops the mic and exits the ring. All right, let's move on. I thought the transition from Swerve Strickland getting a look at Bryan Danielson to cutting his promo was clever, and the promo itself was really good as he calls out the Elite before announcing he will be in blood and guts on Team AEW. That was a good promo by Swerve Strickland. I enjoyed that transition right there by Swerve Strickland. That was very good. All right, let's move on. Video package. A look at Willow Nightingale and Mariah May's respective paths to the finals for the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament tonight on AEW Dynamite. So we go to commercial break. Video package. The Acclaim have a music video calling out the Young Bucks ahead of their independent AEW World Tag Team Championships bout. How I missed the Acclaim music video. I popped for the Reseda mention not going on live. LOL. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Back at ringside, Samoa Joe makes his way to the ring for our next match. Out next is FTW champion Chris Jericho, alongside now former DPW national champion Brian Keith. The pair head into the ring as this Stampede Street Fight gets underway. So we get a Stampede Street Fight match: Samoa Joe versus Chris Jericho. This was a decent match. But please can we get Chris Jericho off my television set, man? But this was a decent street fight match. Samoa Joe removes Jericho's hat before laying him into him, sending Jericho into the corner for some hard rights. He sends Jericho to the opposite corner for a running kick, followed by some more punches until Chris Jericho fights back. Keith tries to get involved, which leads to Samoa Joe going after him on the outside, sending him into the crowd before going back to the apron where he gets intercepted by the learning tree. Chris Jericho grabs a chair for some add damage before sending Samoa Joe back into the ring, pulling out a stat, shell from under the ring before revealing a horseshoe upon sliding back into the ring. Chris Jericho goes for a back suplex, but Samoa Joe fights back with some elbow and a knee. Jericho tries to catch him with a bulldog, but is caught before Samoa Joe slams him onto the piles of horseshoes. Chris Jericho finally managed to get back into it with a low blow on Samoa Joe before locking in the walls of Jericho as we go to pitch and picture. We're back from pitch and picture. Samoa Joe struggles as he gets to the ropes, looking for a leverage of nothing else in the street fight situation, but Jericho pulls him away from the ropes, keeping Samoa Joe at bay. Samoa Joe looks like he might be close to tapping out, but managed to hold on as we come back. And not the moment too soon, as Samoa Joe turns his body around before cracking Chris Jericho in the head with a horseshoe to finally break the hold. Samoa Joe gets to his feet, sending Jericho to the corner, but the learner tree counters out of a muscle buster before sending Samoa Joe to the outside. He waves to the crowd before running towards Samoa Joe, who evades the learning tree before sending him into the crowd for a walk and brawl up the stairs for a moment. The they make they make their way through to the to the stand as Samoa Joe slams a bag of popcorn against Jericho. Before the pair make their way backstage, they end up in a coffee area where the learning tree throws a cup of coffee at Samoa Joe, who responds with a cold, Kofua, uh, coquina clutch on Chris Jericho. But here comes Big Bill with a steel chair, cracking it against the back of Samoa Joe. Keith gets in on the action now. The student beats Samoa Joe down as Chris Jericho used the belt he got from Martha Hart to get some revenge. His students then sets Samoa Joe up on a pile pallet being supported by a forklift, which Jericho operates to send Samoa Joe into a nearby drywall. officials and wrestlers alike they like rush to check on Samoa Joe with the doctor declaring that Samoa Joe cannot continue as the bell gets rung to end the match. The winner the winner by referee stoppage Chris Jericho. We're left to wonder what Samoa Joe situation is as so I'm sorry, we're left to wonder what Samoa Joe's situation is as we go to commercial break. Um, the street the street fight was starting to get really good as things went backstage, but that finish was not for me. I don't have much more to say than that. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. The finish was like sloppy for me, but the match itself was decent, but the finish was just sloppy, and that's all I gotta say. So we go to commercial break. We get a replay of what Chris Jericho did to Samoa Joe backstage before going to the parking lot where Samoa Joe is brought into an ambulance. As Samoa Joe is sent away, we pan over to a smiling Jericho waving goodbye before going back to ringside where our next match gets underway. So we get a Global Glory Fatal 4-Way match. Claudio Castagnoli versus Kyle Fletcher versus Pac versus Tom Tomohiro Ashi. This was a very good Fatal 4-Way match. All right, Chaos ensures quickly before Ashi and Claudio go at it with forearm strikes, only for Kyle Fletcher to get involved and drop to the canvas for his troubles. He gets sent outside before Claudio and Tomohiro trade strikes again, with Claudio being taken down with a shoulder tackle before Pac gets involved with a missile dropkick. Ashi leaves the ring as Kyle Fletcher and Pac go at it before Claudio looks for a giant swing on Pac before Kyle Fletcher intercepts. All four men go at it before Claudio catches Ashi with a gut wrench suplex. Ashi leaves the ring where he is met by Kyle Fletcher and Pac, and Claudio catches all three of them with a diving before we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Claudio appears to be in control as he lays into Ashi and then Pac, who turns things around on Claudio Castagnoli while Kyle Fletcher and Ashi go at it. Things come back into the ring with Ashi and Claudio in the one corner and Pac and Kyle Fletcher on the other side. Both pair trade strikes among each other. Pac hits a superplex on Kyle Fletcher and Ashi hits one of his own on Claudio as we come back from break. All four men are in the middle of the ring, slowly fighting their way back to their feet until Ashi lays in forearms on all three opponents, eventually taking Pac out in a corner, only for Claudio and Kyle Fletcher to follow suit. Um, Pac catches Kyle Fletcher with a poison roundup, but is dropped with an uppercut by Claudio, who gets taken down by Kyle Fletcher. Ashi goes after him, but is taken to the mat with some tombstone power driver by Kyle Fletcher for a close near fall. Ashi goes up top, but is taken out by Claudio, who sends Kyle Fletcher on a giant swing before locking in the sharpshooter to a big pop from the Calgary crowd. Pac goes up top, hitting an elbow on Kyle Fletcher before locking in the brutalizer on Kyle Fletcher, and Ashi forced Claudio to break the sharpshooter with some hard punches. He lays out Claudio Castagnoli before hitting the ropes, nearly stumbling before laying Pac out with a lariat to break the hold on Kyle Fletcher, and then hitting a lariat on Kyle Fletcher for a near fall. Claudio stops him from hitting a brainbuster, connecting with a neutralizer for a near fall before Pac pulls him off. Pac goes for a cover, but Claudio pulls him off, and then stare down between them is interrupted by Ashi, who takes a German suplex German from Pac. Kyle Fletcher cradles him. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher cradles him for a near fall before Pac heads to the corner, laying in a boot on Kyle Fletcher before going up top for a Black Arrow brutalizer on Kyle Fletcher forces him to tap out just before Claudio can break it up. The winner of the match, Pac. This was a very good Fatal 4-Way match. Alright, the win earns Pac a future shot at the AEW International Championship as Claudio shakes his head and what happened? Pac gets a microphone addressing the promise he made since returning to AEW in March. He made some humiliation failures, but this is all in season, and he will not be denied as Wembley moment. Let tonight stand as a line in the sand because Pac will be back. That fatal 4-way match was very solid, very good, very solid, and above else helped me helped me provide back from a rough time with the finish from the previous match. LOL, great win for Pac. Curious to see where things go heading into all AEW All in hashtag AEW Dynamite. This was a very good match. That fatal 4-way match was good. That's all I gotta say. Back at ringside, yeah, I'm not back at ringside. Backstage, Renee Paquette gets pushed aside by Hangman Adam Page, release her to try and get a word until Page bangs on the door of the EVP saying he will do it. Back at ringside, Mercedes Moné heads to the ring to celebrate becoming a double champion at Double or Nothing. Mercedes Moné wants to address the past, present, present the future because she is the past, present, and future. She says she is the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. Much to the charging of the Calgary crowd. Mercedes Monet wants to raise Mercedes Monet wants to raise a toast to the CEO, but Dr. Britt Baker DMD makes her way out to Mercedes Monet wants nothing to do with the former women's world champion, accepting to the crowd as Dr. Britt Baker enters the ring to stare at the TBS and NJPW Strong Women's Champion down. The crowd chants DMD as she signs of thanks for interrupting the segment, as a graphic reminds us for our main event up next. So, you mean to tell me that Mercedes Moné calls out Dr. Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné ran away? And that's your champion right there of Mercedes Moné. That's your double champion right there of Mercedes Moné running away, but she can't go face to face with Dr. Britt Baker. Oh, I cannot wait for AEW All In. Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Mercedes Moné. Oh, I cannot wait to see that match at AEW All In. How you going like how did Mercedes Moné start something but she couldn't finish it? That don't make any sense. But anyway, let me continue. So we go to commercial break. Backstage, Darby Allin has put a beating on Brandon Cutler before calling out Jack Perry for next week before we head back to ringside. Mariah May is accompanied by Toni Storm, which is her mentor, by the way. Ash, Toni Storm, as she's as what's that? I'm sorry, Mariah May is accompanied by Toni Storm, which is our mentor. She heads to the ring for our main event, looking to beat the defending Owen Hart Cup winner as Willow Nightingale makes her way out to be next. Both women horn Owen with their gear as we get ring introductions for each competitor before this match gets underway. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Finals. Willow Nightingale versus Mariah May. This was a very good main event between Willow Nightingale and Mariah May. All right, but I'll get to the post match just a moment. But this is a very good match between Willow Nightingale and Mariah May. Mariah May catches Willow Nightingale with a wrist lock, but Willow counters out only for Mariah May to get a waist lock that the former TBS champion escapes. The two trade holds once again, with Mariah May trapped in a full Nelson before Willow Nightingale goes for a gut wrench powerbomb only for Mariah May to get a rope and force a break. Mariah may get sent to the corner for a chop by Willow Nightingale, who follows up by dropping Mariah May to the mat, but Mariah May fights back up for a drop kick. Willow Nightingale sent to the corner as Mariah May goes for a head scissor, sending Willow Nightingale to the ropes, where Mariah May wraps her up for some hard strikes and a near fall back in the ring. Both women back to their feet as Willow Nightingale catches Mariah May with a spinning side slam for a near fall, followed by a crossbody for the same result. Will Nightingale takes control by sending Mariah May to the outside, followed by with a senton as we go to picture in picture. Back from picture in picture, Willow Nightingale brings Mariah May back in the ring for a scoop slam, but only gets a near fall before Mariah May starts fighting back with strikes, only to be slammed by Willow Nightingale for another near fall. Will Nightingale gets caught with a guillotine on the way back up. Both sends Mariah May into the turnbuckle to break the hold before locking in a hold with some boots for added damage. Mariah makes it to the ropes to force a break, but is sent to the corner as Willow Nightingale sets her up on the turnbuckle before we come back. Mariah May drops Will Nightingale to the mat and get an opening, but only pick up a near fall as Toni Storm cheers her on from ringside. Will Nightingale fights back with a kick before charging at Mariah May in the corner, sending her to the ropes for a spinebuster that gets a close near fall. Will Nightingale pops the Calgary crowd as she sets up a sharpshooter, but Mariah May managed to escape before catching her with a suplex. Will Nightingale gets to the corner where Mariah May hits an uppercut, but Mariah May is sent to the corner only to turn it around with some right hands. Boot to the face. Let Willow Nightingale go up the top turnbuckle, but Mariah May takes her down with a hurricanrana for a near fall. Mariah May stares Will Nightingale down as she goes for a running knee strike, but Will Nightingale catches her with a fisherman's bomb for the pin, but Mariah May kicks out. Mariah May sent to the ropes, but stops a pounce with a big headbutt that forced both women to the mat. Someone in the hoodie goes after Will Nightingale as she tries to get up, and Toni Storm distracts the referee long enough for Chris Statlander to hit Will Nightingale with a big boot. We realize the hoodie figure is Stokely Hathaway as they escapes up the ramp, and Mariah May goes for the cover, only for Willow Nightingale to kick out. Mariah May catches Willow Nightingale once again, but only gets a near fall before Willow Nightingale drops her with a lariat. But Mariah May once again managed to kick out to stay in the match. Willow Nightingale back on her feet as Mariah May is in the corner, allowing Will Nightingale to hit a cannonball, Mariah May counters out of a Death Valley driver, keeping Will Nightingale down for the pin and the win. The winner of the match in the 2024 Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament winner, Mariah May. This was a very good match. But watch this outcome right here. I did not predict this and I did not see it coming. But let me read you guys the outcome. Alright. Mariah May and Will Nightingale shake hands out of respect, with Will Nightingale leaving the ring as Mariah May celebrates with Toni Storm before they head up the ramp towards the trophy as and championship belt, which Mariah May used to attack Toni Storm. She wipes the belt against the Women's World Champion, turning her attention to Luther to send the Butler flying through a table off the stage. She goes back to work on Toni Storm attacking the champion with her own shoe and leaving the champ bloody as a graphic on the screen remind us that the two will collide at AEW All In next month for the AEW Women's World Championship before AEW Dynamite comes to a close, with the 2024 Women's On Heart Cup winner standing tall over her former mentor and the timeless one. And strong main event between Will Nightingale and Mariah May. I was a little iffy on Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway involvement through it made sense for the story perspective, as does Mariah May picking up the win to earn her shot at the Women's World Championship. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Another and then there's another aftermath. Oh boy, this has been quite some time coming, hasn't it? We finally get Mariah May lashing out against Toni Storm, seemingly revealing her true colors ahead of what should be a what of a match at AEW All In next month on Wembley Stadium. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Overall, a solid show, top to bottom, for a hashtag AEW Dynamite tonight. I thought both Owen Hart tournament finals were a blast. A blast. The Fatal 4 match was fun, and the Stampede Street Fight did what it's supposed to do. All right, it says, and that's it. And AEW Dynamite goes off there. All right, let me get my honest opinion what I think about AEW Dynamite. Now, AEW Dynamite was a decent show, and that's all I have to say. But the way that Mariah May puts Luther off the stage and laying on the table, and then Mariah May pushes RB Edwards. She was Mariah May when I saw Mariah May push RB Edwards, she was like the way that she pushed RB Edwards, she fell. But expect the I did not expect that Mariah May turn on Toni Storm. I thought that Toni Storm was supposed to turn on Mariah May so Toni Storm could be heartbroken, but that did not happen. It went the other way around. Mariah May turn on Toni Storm, which is her mentor. And I believe that Mariah May was fed up with Toni Storm, so Mariah May was sick and tired of Toni Storm. But I cannot wait for AEW All In to see Mariah May take the title away from Toni Storm, and that's all I gotta say. And I'm looking forward to AEW All In pay per view. All right. But anyway, AEW Dynamite was a decent show, and that's all I have to say. But anyway, thank you guys for taking time out of your night just to watch my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. If you guys made it far to this video, please give this video a big fat thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think of AEW Dynamite tonight because it was a decent show, and that's all I have to say. Make sure you guys follow my social media down below in the description. And go check out my AEW Dynamite. No, I'm sorry. Go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights that I posted yesterday. And go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights that I also posted on the channel. And I will be going live tomorrow for some Fortnite. And that's all I have to say. But first, I'm gonna have to make a YouTube short video and just give you guys an update, YT short update to my subscribers. That's gonna be my YouTube short video, and that's coming up next. Anyway, I want you guys to have a great night and stay safe and always stay positive. Help me, I'm 2 away from 6K subscribers. Help me get to 3K watch outs and become YouTube partner for a very various time because I put in all the work. When it comes to me doing wrestling reviews, I always find I always find a way to knock it out of the park, which is I already did, and I knocked this review out of the park. Let me say this one more time to all my viewers. When it comes to me doing wrestling reviews, I always knocked it out of the park, and I know how to deliver. And that's all I gotta say. But anyway, have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here, gang. And I will see you guys on my live stream tomorrow for some Fortnite. And that's all I gotta say. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I will see you guys at my world premiere for my AEW Dynamite review on highlights at 4 o'clock a.m. Standard Eastern Time. And I will show you guys full proof that I'm going to have an upcoming world premiere for my AEW Dynamite review on highlights on my YouTube short video. And that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for taking your time out of your day or night to watch my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. You guys are so awesome. You guys is always respectful. Now I am the best supporter on YouTube, and that's facts. So have a great night. Stay safe. I'm sorry. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I am the best supporter on YouTube. And I hope to see everybody in my world premiere in my chat for my AW Dynamite review highlights. I am the best supporter on YouTube, and that's all I gotta say. So stay positive. Don't let nobody hold you down, and don't let nobody tell you different. Cause I got y'all back 1,000%. Just like you guys got my back and support. If you guys want to be a member of the KFG Club, let me know down below in the comment section. I will recruit you guys. And that's all I got to say. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive and stay too sweet. Too sweet right here. And I'm out of here. Gang. And I'm out. And we out. We out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talk to you guys later. Stay positive and stay too sweet. Gang. And now I'm out of here.